So guys, report has it that the DSS has arrested a veteran of the Nigerian military, somebody who once served as a Nigerian military man, for being an extremist. See what the guy tweeted on Twitter. He said, if today you commit what Deborah did in Sokoto, we will find you and send you where she is now. This is a retired Nigerian military man saying this. That's an evidence that many Nigerian military guys are sympathizers of these terrorists. He said, if you do what Deborah did, that they will find you wherever you are and they will send you to where Deborah is. Now, there is an article saying that the DSS has arrested this guy. But let me take you to the profile of this same person. His profile on Twitter says, Islam first, then Nigeria. Army commander, retired combat veteran, contractor. He is a retired combat veteran of the Nigerian military. He's the one that tweeted this, that if today you do what Deborah did, that they will find you no matter where you go to, and they will send you to where Deborah is today. Now, let me show you the article that talks about his being arrested by the Nigerian DSS. This one here says, no country can survive this. How did a self-confessed Islamic extremist and supporter of terrorists end up as a Nigerian, as military man in the Nigerian army? How many more like him are in our military? And he now went ahead to say, popular self-confessed Islamic extremist Abu Gaza, who has reportedly been arrested by the DSS, is one of the most vile Islamic extremists in Nigeria. His tweet telling a Christian on Twitter that he will find them and unalive them the same way they did to Deborah went viral. For context, Deborah is a Christian who was killed by Muslim students in Sokoto because she told them to stop posting religious content in the class WhatsApp group. Hey, God. So how did someone who, with this type of hate and extremist ideology, get into the Nigerian military? This is the question so many have been asking since news broke that he served as military for 10 years. A claim which I personally do not believe. Abu Gaza's conduct and ideology aligned with those of the so-called repentant terrorists who were absorbed into the Nigerian military and then dismissed for his terrorist views and conduct. This is someone who known for trolling and mocking Christian genocide victims, trolling Israel, the IDFs, Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu. He is also known for making very inflammatory extremist statements that have gone viral on many occasions, for having vicious uncles and relatives who were killed in Gaza on several occasions, for supporting the terrorist group Hamas, for threatening people online, and for having wanted poster of Benjamin Netanyahu. This story should interest every Nigerian, and we should ask some very vital question: how many such people are in our military? Is this the reason why our military is not able to fight the Islamic terrorists? Is this the reason why our military is always getting ambushed? Has our military, as TJ Danjuma said, been taken over by terrorists? I hope the DSS will get to the bottom of this. So I don't know if this is the guy's image here. This is the image attached to this article. And guess what? He said anybody who commits what Deborah committed, that they will find the person no matter where you are, and they will send you to where Deborah is. So guys, this is the problem we are having. And this is also the photo attached where he has a wanted image of the Prime Minister of Israel. So guys, I don't know how the Nigerian military will be able to overcome this challenge of having extremists in the Nigerian military. I think this is our biggest challenge at the moment. Now take your time and watch this video.
Now, just the other day, Nigerians were informed that the collaboration between the United States has yielded results to the extent that the United States will deploy some soldiers to Nigeria for reconnaissance, training, and the rest of them. 100 of them, we heard, arrived in Nigeria not too long ago, over the weekend actually, and then we saw movements of helicopters, ammunition into Borno, in Maiduguri, and other parts of Nigeria as well. But now we hear that insurgent groups, ISWAP, Islamic State West Africa Province, have acquired drones. Does it seem like they're getting sponsorship from some international organization? Is that what it feels like? Is Nigeria becoming a battleground for foreign powers that are interested in all of these things?
I'm surprised you're asking this question.
Yeah, I'm asking so you throw more light on it.
because late Buhari, our former president, who is late now, told us that these insurgents, that they are not Nigerians. So asking the question in 2026, whether there are foreign
if the U.S. is assisting Nigeria to combat these individuals that have invaded our lands, is it okay to say that these individuals are also getting support from some other bodies, in international space that are also fighting to keep them in Nigeria?
The question is, what are they fighting for? What is the bone of contention? What is the reason for this whole fight? That Nigerians are killed, slaughtered like
what do you think the reason is?
I don't know. Maybe when Donald Trump was talking to one of those events, international events.
I mean, America says its reason is to protect Christians.
Yes.
That's its reason.
Yes.
So
maybe our own reason is maybe the reason here is to make all of us decide one day to become Islamized. Because people like OBJ have stated it, that there is a foreignization agenda. This man too, who was defense minister, Danjuma, also stated it, that the armed forces, most of them are colluding with the bandits against the interests of Nigerians, that we should protect ourselves, even though they didn't tell us how we can protect ourselves. The thing is that we are seeing that government is not interested in fighting these people. And let them be careful so that they don't allow Americans to get, any American soul to get caught up in this whole shenanigan.
What do you think will happen if that happens?
Well, I wouldn't know, but it's not going to augur well for Nigerians.
It will not augur well for Nigeria.
For Nigeria and Nigerians. Because this game we are playing, the government have not shown any seriousness that they want to stop this rubbish from continuing. This orgy of violence, of killing Nigerians without cause, without consequences.
Governments obviously seem overwhelmed, and so they
are not overwhelmed. They have not
from America.
The help, they were compelled to accept the help.
Yeah,
Mr. Aranta, we are talking about 35 drones here. We do know that the security at the borders and all of that can be porous, but how is it possible for 35 drones to be transported maybe via road or even by air without any security alerts? How is that possible?
You see,
and then the details of the specifications of these drones are even scary and mind-boggling. How is it possible that all of this
from the time of Jonathan, he has said that there are Boko Haram members in his cabinet. Check it. That was before 2015. Today, you have people who have been accused by top people in government to be sympathizers, to be enablers of terrorism, and they're in government. So asking these questions, I don't know how to answer.
Mr. Ranta, let's return to the issue of government's sincerity. You say that the government is not interested in fighting this.
None at all.
But the government is collaborating with the United States of America.
I think they are compelled to accept the American intervention.
Okay, so it's an issue of capacity, lack of capacity.
It's not capacity. It's not about capacity. It's about political will and sincerity of purpose. Because, look, have they stopped that policy, that obnoxious policy of de-radicalization, that those that they have, the military, have managed to apprehend? That policy that they say they want to de-radicalize them, and then they will reintegrate them into the system. That they will pay them money from Nigerian taxpayers' money, the sweat of Nigerians, and this will be taken care of, giving them money, they have been taken. While the people they killed, the victims, those that the survivors are in IDP camps.
Why it's difficult to understand your position on this is if you say the government is not interested, apart from military and bilateral military cooperation with the United States of America, our president just returned from Turkey, like not long ago, where he also signed a military agreement, understanding MOU with Turkey. And before now, we also know that when he came into office early in 2023, he went to France. And it was an MOU on military cooperation between Nigeria and France, all geared towards fighting insecurity. So, if you put all of these things together, will you still say that the government is not interested in fighting insecurity in Nigeria?
Well, the government went to Turkey. Just the way Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, instructed or suggested or whatever. You see, the issue is that I keep saying that we are not interested in stopping this whole thing. Because if that is happening, if we were serious, government would have cancelled those policies. Government would have started showing us that those fifth columnists in the military would have been rid of, made it public. The list delivered by UAE, which they say Malami has, they should have brought it out, get Malami to release the list, if that is, or they go back to the UAE and get the list. Bring out these people, name them and shame them, prosecute them, and they're not doing it.
Okay, will it be appropriate to say that, well, government might be interested, but they are not doing the right things? Like you have pointed out.
You cannot be interested and not do the right things.
You can be interested and not know the right things to do.
Why would they know the right thing to do? When it became something of interest for them, did they move? They had the capacity. Did they move it to the Republic and quell and a bruising coup?
So apparently it's not the lack of capacity. We have
lack of capacity.
And we are acquiring more capacities by collaborating with other countries.
You see, when we get those things, I'm saying that they should ensure that these whole things do not lead to the loss of an American soul, their soldiers in Nigeria. Because those people don't play with their citizens. The life of every American is taken so seriously. That was why they came here and went to the border between Nigeria and Niger and rescued an American from the hands of terrorists. And on their way going, they wave a flag and I say, look, we came here, we've collected our man.
All right, thank you, Mr. Oranka. Now, let's quickly run to Oka, where we still have Dr. Dennis Ekemizie. Dr. Ekemizie, I'm sure you have followed this conversation. Now, Nigeria, the ISWAP, Islamic State West Africa Province in Nigeria, has acquired 35 drones to help them in fighting Nigerian military. I mean, this sounds scary. How do you react to this development, especially within the context of the arrival of 100 American soldiers? Now, the issue is that America has told us that, well, they are going to be involved in, not in field operations, but in tactical support and intelligence. Now, these drones have the capacity, to target areas where we have Nigerian militaries. I would like for you to tell us what might happen if they use these drones and target where American soldiers are involved in intelligence or tactical support operations. What might be the likely outcome of all of that?
It's shocking in the sense that it's portraying a terrible situation in Nigeria. And from your question, I don't think America will take it lightly. Just as my colleague said, they're always very interested in their citizens. And everything possible will be done by America to protect their citizens. And that is the major issue. Another question is, what is Nigerian government doing? What is the nature of the collaboration? Because you mentioned a signing of MOU, where the terms or the spirit and the letters of the MOU not known to you. Even if, what is the political will? That's the big question. And we are here in Nigeria scrambling for electronic transfer and then accessories of national security advice. And it was the question. How did they know such a thing? By information gathering, surveillance, and intelligence gathering. So the national security and is becoming a very terrible situation. However, America will not allow the citizens and will not allow the cause they have set up to die like that.
Dr. Kemeze, when you frame issues around insecurity, you know, lack of political will, are we actually being fair to this government? Because the guest in the studio, I just read out to him, and I'm sure that you heard it, 3 efforts the federal government, the current administration has made to show that, well, we are interested in routing out the terrorists. They went to the United States, there's collaboration, 100 of them here. Our president just returned from Turkey when he signed an MOU, military cooperation, and we did that way back in 2023 with France. So what happened? I mean, if the government didn't have political will, if the leadership didn't have political will, we don't go to this.
Let me repeat myself. The political will has not been interpreted for people to know. MOU. You can sign MOU, yes, but what is the content? What is the spirit and letter of your signing of the MOU? That's the question.
Okay, can we take that of the United States of America now? Can we take that of the US?
So now, that of America was by force, coercion. And we had the first lady doing exerting the job of external affairs ministers. What are we protecting in Nigeria? Whose interest? Of course, Jonathan said it. They are institution. Until those people involved are not known by the government, then we know where their political interest is. It's the claim of interest. You want us to say, then to do that a claim as you said. Who is Puru?
Because I mean, talking about the United States, and he said when you say it was forced, you know, that the soldiers are here now. And Nigerian government could have said, no, we don't want the soldiers, because at some point Nigerians
you cannot. Spirit power. You are doing spirit power. I hope you know that. Coercion, persuasion, and diplomacy. This is international politics, my friend.
Okay, so you are not saying that the American forced its way into Nigeria. Is that your position?
I said you can use persuasion, you can use diplomacy in international military strategy.
Okay.
So whichever angle you want to take it, the analysis is here. What is political will? You do not protect the interests of your people, the sovereignty of your nation. We are here in Nigeria discussing electoral transfer. I'm ashamed. Honestly. Let's rethink.
All right, Dr. Kemeze, what in your opinion should the government do? Because when we keep talking about political will, lack of political will, what will happen?
Let me tell you.
Okay, examine that. Tell us.
Some of them in government are better opportunity than us to do what they know they will do. They know that.
If you were to advise the government on what to do,
the security advisor to the president is to know what to do.
Dr. Kemeze, the question we are asking is, if you were to advise the government, you're saying they know what to do, but they're not doing it. So what is it that you know the government, what would you do if you were in a position to make decisions like that? What would you do?
But when we need to be also,
or you basically don't know what you do.
Yes, I'll be in a competent government
if they get into a quagmire, because they're also stuck.
Let them employ us. Let them call us. Let us make us part of the think tank, and we'll tell them.
Okay, so for you, it's about capacities.
Is that it? I'm not looking for solar chemicals for assumption. I'm not looking for appointments.
You're looking for what?
I'm not looking for appointments. I'm not looking for. They just say they should employ me. If they need think tank, they know what to do.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Dennis Ikem is here. We're trying to. It's not just about pointing out, what governments have not done and the problems of Nigeria. On VOP television, we also try to.
Security matter. You don't showcase certain strategies in security matters. I'm happy. Dr. Kemizi, I'm happy that you're saying that. Dr. Kemizi, I'm happy you're saying that you don't showcase, some security matters in public. But you want the Nigerian government to open to you the MOU they have with the Americans and with Turkey and with France. With you and myself, people it will be very new to. There are people, yes, and those people that should be known. I'm telling you that I want you to say it. My friend.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Dennis Ikem and Mr. Somi Oranta. Let's move away from this conversation. Let's look at what the ECOWAS court is saying. ECOWAS court confronts Nigeria over failure to enforce its judgment. Let's talk about this one. We can.
A framework for collaboration to address the specific challenges hindering the enforcement of its decisions within Nigeria. Despite the ECOWAS revised treaty stating that the court's decisions are final and binding on all member states, Nigeria has a long history of ignoring rulings, particularly those involving human rights violations and the illegal detention of citizens. Stay with us to discuss this issue. We have Mr. Somi Oranta. Mr. Oranta, we know back here in Nigeria, this is what we see all the time. And it's not also surprising that even on the broader scale, we see this happening on ECOWAS, at the ECOWAS level. What is your take on this? Are we shocked?
It's our way. It's our way here. And unfortunately, when we have failed to take caution to get wise counsel at home, we have taken this naked dance to the public.
So what are the implications? What are the implications of flouting court orders, especially, locally now? ECOWAS is saying, look, we have given you orders to do things, especially when it comes to human rights issues. Oh, you're flouting it. Nigeria, a member of ECOWAS, flouting judgments from ECOWAS court. What are the implications of this?
Nigeria is not just an ordinary member of ECOWAS. It's a very powerful member of ECOWAS. And Nigeria is like the United States in world organizations like United Nations, like the World Bank and all that. That is the role Nigeria plays. Only just recently, our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was the head of ECOWAS. And Nigeria is being indicted that we are constantly, or we've been constantly, flouting orders of the court. So it shows that it's a country we are preparing the stage for anarchy within the ECOWAS region, same thing within the nation. But I'm not surprised because we do it here with much glee, with reckless abandon. They decide to cherry pick the one they will respect, the one they will not. And even the courts in Nigeria, most of them do not make pronouncements that are clear and concise. They make it look so ambiguous so that the court is supposed to interpret. But the court now end up in Nigeria making their judgment look so shrouded in several layers that they need to go back to another court to decode what they released. And those who are taking, where the others are made against, will decide to abandon it and nothing happens. So we are not showing leadership.
I was just going to say that, especially for a country that prides itself as the big brother of Africa, what does this even say about our image?
It's a very badly behaved big brother that we are. And we've taken it out in public. And very, very bad. Because democracy thrives, on the back of rule of law. It's the law that will rule, not human beings. not individuals, not strong men, because strong men will come and go, but the law remains. It's the last hope of the common man. Today in Nigeria, the judiciary seems to be the last hope of the rich man, of the well-off, of the bourgeois. And you see, when we begin to act the way we are doing, we are sending a very, very bad signal. No country that knows its onion, we want to do business with us. No businessman who made his money genuinely will come to a country where the judiciary, where the government flouts court orders. Nobody. Because if you have a problem with a state government or with an individual that is politically exposed or connected, your investment will just, that is why we have briefcase investors in Nigeria.
Mr. Ranta, let's interrogate further the status of Nigeria in West Africa. Is Nigeria still the big brother of West Africa? I ask that question in the light of the fact that if you look at when you international rating agencies, put out data and statistics there, they talk about, nations that are very well corrupt, and Nigeria is nested with countries like Senegal, Gambia, South Sudan,
Sri Lanka.
when they talk about poverty, Nigeria is nested with countries like, in some poor West African countries. And when international organizations like AFTA, when they wanted to choose a head office, they bypassed Nigeria and went to Ghana. When the PAD wanted a head office, they bypassed Nigeria and went to South Africa. And when they want to rate Naira, they rate our Naira with that of Yemen, South Sudan, and all of that. We have big corporations leaving Nigeria and domiciling their headquarters in Ghana for their West African and, in fact, African operations. Is Nigeria still big brother West Africa?
Did you notice that, maybe on the soft side, did you notice that there's no longer big brother Africa? Nigeria is supposed to be big brother to the whole Africa.
Okay.
I don't know what big brother Africa is, big brother Nigeria. But on a serious note, we are not big brother of anything
Anymore. Okay.
Time there was, when that used to be. When I look out to Nigeria, when the Naira has weight, it's stronger, it used to be stronger than the American dollar. When the green passport meant anything, we want to have all manners of people, criminals and what have you, occupying elevated positions, and even the action they take. See, when you keep telling people that we respect the sovereignty of the people, if you do not, it's like a housewife married. If you come up and you let the world know that your husband is useless, you don't care, you are actually leaving the cover. The respect they are giving you is not just you, they are giving those respect because there is someone that's an authority that is covering you. So those people who are in few of them in government positions, they act as if people don't matter. They're actually messing themselves up because the world knows that these people don't have the backing of their own people. So they're going on their own. That is why there's a dearth of leadership in Nigeria. What we have is a sort of army of occupation, kind of buccaneers in power. So that is why the world is rating us low on different counts. And they're not ashamed.
In fact, one of the laws, Mr. Ranta, one of the laws that the ECOWAS court is asking Nigeria to repeal is the kanu blasphemy law, which prescribes death penalty for anybody who insults Prophet Muhammad. And so ECOWAS's ECOWAS court's argument is that this is against fundamental human rights and all of that. But even back here in Nigeria, within Nigeria, the Sharia law is also being tried to be implemented in some states that are not predominantly Muslims. What do you say to this?
I was to say something before I was distracted. When Donald Trump was addressing, one of the summits, he said that he was talking about Greenland and some countries in Europe were trying to. He said, you guys have to support us. If not for America, that all of you, or most of you, have been speaking German, or Japanese. If not for this American intervention, some of us, maybe all of us, will be compelled to abandon whatever religion we have and follow a particular one by force of arm. I don't know what's happening in Nigeria. When this government was coming, we said, look, you cannot do Muslim tickets. He said, no, it doesn't matter. But look at where it has taken us to. For the first time in Nigerian history, even during the Civil War, it was not brazen that another country will come and hit targets in Nigeria, that American soldiers will have this on ground in our country. So we better act now before it's too late.
Dr. Ekemezie, please, can we hear get your thoughts on this issue, please?
Well, I think you know the difference between puff and bread. Let me pick that analogy. We've done well in the past. Because our soldiers were fantastic. But today, where are we? Well, just we are arguing about political will or non-political will. I want to draw you back also to, I make technical glitch that did the American wonder in 2003 election. These are part of the effects. Once the leadership of a nation or an organization is not getting the right thing to do, then the situation will not be able to be managed. And that's where we are finding ourselves. We are crying that they have already dictated our problems. It's internal. And we are taught in political science courses that internal contradiction in the system, this
we seem to have lost audio to Dr. Dennis Ekemezie. All right, unfortunately, we're being told that we've lost audio to Dr. Dennis Ekemezie and so cannot continue taking his summation there. But well, let's wrap this up now. Let's bring it back to the studio. We have Somi Ranta. Now, Somi, tell us, in concluding now, we're coasting home now. Well, let's bring all the conversations we've had so far. What will be your concluding thoughts from the House of Reps, Senate issues to terrorists, showing in a show of force? As the military shows force, terrorists also show force. To ECOWAS court saying, look, Nigeria, you are becoming recalcitrant, disobeying court orders. What are your concluding thoughts?
Well, I will start by, or I should begin by saying that those who are elected should always, or must always have at the back of their mind that they are representatives of people, and that the true sovereignty resides with the people, and that if they discard the will of the people, those individual wills that made up the general will that they exercise, they are also stripping themselves naked of every manner of authority. It will be in their own interest to listen to the people and do what they want, because you cannot be so sure of anything. Politicians have not shown, they've not shown capacity. They've not shown respect for the rule of law. They have not shown respect to governance, be it political, be it social, be it in every way possible, economical. They've not shown. So they have to prove to Nigerians that democracy is what Nigerians need. That's one. Then when we talk about the show of force by the insurgents, the government must show capacity. They have the capacity, but they must show it. They must convince Nigerians that they are serious about fighting this insurgency in Nigeria. Because Nigerians cannot be losing our brothers and sisters the way is going on without any. They say they will go to book. I'm sure that the book must have filled up to overflowing capacity by now. The life of every Nigerian must matter. And that is what governance is all about. If you cannot secure the lives of your people, I don't know, and their properties, what else are you doing? What else are you doing? To say you're just to say verbalizing that I'm in power, it's not enough. You must show that. And security is not something you talk about. People must feel that they are secured. So, government must do the needful. By doing away with that, the radicalization policy, the integration policy, they must rid off all those dangerous fifth columnists that are in this Nigerian military. And then they must name those people, blacklist, bring it out. Because these people once agreed that they are being sponsored, both locally and internationally. We must ensure that those people who are sponsored, at least the ones we know around, they must be brought to book. America just brought out mentioned about 8 names or so. But you cannot outsource those things to others. There's a limit to what somebody can do for you. There are things you will do for yourself, and we will do those things. And finally, on the court thing, this disrespect for court orders, we must show that we are a people governed by law. And when you discard law, the next thing you have on the table is anarchy. So it is left for them, the politically exposed people, is it anarchy they want or the law? They must make a choice. Thank you.
All right, making a choice. Basically, that's your summation. Now, I understand that we've lost connection to Dr. Dennis Ekemeze, so unfortunately we can't take his concluding thoughts at this moment. But I must say a very big thank you to you, Dr. Dennis Ekemeze, for coming on the program, and also thanks to Mr. Somi Oranta for coming on the program. Well, this is how far we go on VOP TV. VOP this morning, newspaper review comes up next, and these issues, as troubling as they are, we will continue to, try to make sense of it, try to prefer solution to these issues and help Nigerians understand the options available to Nigerians and what can be done differently. I'm Moses Humphrey. I'll see you again at 10 o'clock.
So, yes, let me quickly take you through some of the reactions from Nigerians after this guy who came out saying that if you do what Deborah did, then he'll send you where Deborah is. This person here reacted saying he was a dismissed soldier. Do your check. Okay, this person, he was a dismissed soldier. This person here say makes more sense. Another person here say point, the very simple. Nigeria no be China. We know they disappear people. I no agree with his extreme ideology, but Nigeria no be US. Being anti-Israel here no be crime. Being pro-Palestine no be crime. Fighting for people in Gaza no be crime. If he gets case to answer, them suppose arrest and charge him. Okay? And this other person here say, that's why they are scared of US collaboration with our forces. They will fish them out, and they must be fished out. This person say, you are very funny. Do you know the number of gallant men who have served in similar circumstances and yet remain quiet in their lives activities? He lacks discipline. I won't be surprised if indeed he was discharged dishonorably, as it is being claimed in social media. And this other person here said, Nigerian military has been infiltrated by terrorists thanks to the clueless Buhari. This person says Sheikh Gumi was in the Sheikh Gumi was in the military. Remember, his son was also in the military. Israel trained Nigerian army personnel in combat. Now imagine terrorists like Abaka Afan view on them. I don't know who is this Abaka Afan. Okay, and this other person say, how you ask? The answer lies in the intersection of his ethnicity and religion. It also exposes our bigotry, cronyism, and pretentiousness. He most likely joined the army to learn how to use weapons before joining or forming a terror group. Most these people are in the army, right? And you wonder why the army can't detect the terrorists. You wonder why the terrorists won't successfully invade army barracks and will kill everyone. These are the people linking information to the terrorists. Honestly, this is the question foolish Nigerian Christians are supposed to be asking. They will soon come out to vote Muslim ticket, honestly. Christians will soon come out to vote Muslim ticket. This one APC is insisting, Nigeria Christians are the problem. They are enemies of Allah. That is what the same guy tweeted. The guy, he said Nigerian Christians are the problem. Can you imagine? That is what this guy tweeted. Now, he also went ahead to say he actually started as a military personnel, then left the military to join his extremist ideology. Okay, that he actually started. We heard of soldiers giving intel to Islamist terror. Well, this could be one of it. And there are hundreds of them in different military arms. We are screwed, I swear. Can the DSS hand him over to Israel and myself? You must be crazy for saying this. Is Netanyahu not a war criminal? Hey, God. Find him in his personal residence. Terminate the virus. He has been dismissed. Okay. Can you see the write-up, the Islamic write-up on the Nigerian military? Anytime you read the Nigerian military abandoned military hardware, they are the cause, as in they are the cause. And this person here said, Nigerian Christians are no longer safe in the country. We are so cooked in this shithole country. Exactly my thought. How many of his kinds are in the military? There are tens of thousands of them in the Nigerian defense system. Is Gumi a joke to you? So Nigerians are wondering how this kind of person ended up in the military, considering the fact that Nigeria is really facing a very big challenge in ending terrorism. Now we need the US to come and help us, like this person also here said, the point they very simple. Nigeria no be China. We know they disappear people. I no agree with his extremist ideology, but Nigeria no be US. Being anti-Israel here is not a crime. Being a pro-Palestinian. So these are some of the reactions from people. Now, Sheyi Tinubu caught sharing COVID-19 pandemic palliative meant for starving Nigerians in 2019 as Ramadan food. So guys, 2019 food is it still healthy?